Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for GoldMine 101, our regular series of short GoldMine presentations focusing on different topics. And this morning I'm going to cover how GoldMine can be used as a tool to support your organization's marketing efforts. Now, this presentation will be fairly short, about 20 minutes or so. It's just an overview of the marketing capabilities, features. It's not meant to be in-depth training. My company, Wizard Systems, offer many extensive training options should you want to explore them with us. Now, on the call today, we've got people using all sorts of different versions of GoldMine. Much of what I will be saying relates to all versions of GoldMine, but newer releases have some more marketing functionality, which I will explain as I go through. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got any questions, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end. Also at the end, I'll be giving an update on any GoldMine product news that we have for you. The call is being recorded as well, so after the presentation you will receive an email with a link to the recording, which you can view at your leisure, and we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, a brief mention about my company, Wizard Systems. We are GoldMine specialists. We've done this a long time. All we do is CRM, and we've, over the last couple of decades or so, we've implemented well over 3,000 GoldMine solutions all over the UK and further afield into all sorts of different types and sizes of companies, and we offer a wide range of services to help you get the most out of your GoldMine investment as regards customizing GoldMine, setting it up for your requirements, integrating it with other applications, upgrading your systems if you need that, some assistance there, training of your users. We can offer training at your premises. You can come to us. We've got a training center near Bristol, and we can also do online training. Plus, we have a friendly, responsive help desk here to answer any of your questions. Okay, so GoldMine as a marketing tool, and I've got this down into a few different headings or categories, if you like, where something like GoldMine could be very useful in supporting your marketing activities. Well, to start off with, of course, GoldMine is a big database, so it's all about managing data, database management. How do you profile and categorize your leads, your prospects, and your customers? There's various ways of doing that in GoldMine as regards the fields that you see on the screen and the way that you can customize GoldMine to help you target contacts in any marketing activity. We also support mandatory fields. So, for example, when you take a new inquiry, something like the person's name, their job title, their job role, their phone number could be required fields. We want to make sure that we track that information at the very point it enters our GoldMine database. Also, data validation. So when we are entering in new data, when we're changing data, we use pick lists, for example, to make sure that what we're entering is in a consistent format. So if, for example, we're entering in some information about the market sector of this contact or a product name, that's all spelt, it's all entered in a consistent way in the system, so that when we do our marketing, when we do our reporting and slicing and dicing, it's all there in a consistent format, and we track the right information. Also with GoldMine, we have an import capability. So if you go to a show, you acquire data, you're moving from an older CRM system into GoldMine, there's easy ways. There's about 5 different ways or 5 different data formats that GoldMine supports, including Microsoft Excel. So if you acquire this data, maybe after going to a show, you're buying in data, that can easily be uploaded into the GoldMine system. Also, we offer a data cleaning service here at Wizard Systems. So if you feel your database is a little bit dirty as regards missing information, incorrect information, or maybe you want to append extra information to the contact data that you've got already, maybe marketing information, market sector, location information, contact names, we can actually potentially help you there with any data cleaning service, which we offer as a bureau type service. How do you handle duplicate records? GoldMine has a dedupe, a merge purge feature. So if you are suffering from duplicate records, these can be grouped together so that you actually have one record for that company or contact, not multiple records. We also have a filtering and grouping capability in GoldMine, easy ways of grouping together contacts that have something in common. And more recently, in later versions, we've got links to social networks, so you can actually see the social network activity of your contact in Facebook, in Google, in Twitter, and also LinkedIn. So quite a big area, and I will take you through some of those concepts shortly when I go into a little live demo. So lead management. How do you manage your leads? Where do your leads come from? Of course, we have a lead source field as standard in GoldMine. So there, in a consistent format, we'll be tracking our leads and the source of those leads, which could be very important for us to analyze how successful an exhibition was. Another way of getting leads into GoldMine is via your website. So we have built into GoldMine a web import feature. So a form on your website, we can actually create a very basic form from within GoldMine, which can be put on your website, and then as people submit their information to you, that can automatically become a lead record in GoldMine, and with a little bit of automation alert you to that new incoming lead. But once those leads are in GoldMine, GoldMine could support how you process those leads. How do you allocate those leads? What's the sort of follow-up that you would do to those leads? Of course, against every lead, hopefully we'll have the name of the incumbent salesperson or agent that should look after that lead. And also in GoldMine, we can track processes, all about tracking processes and the actual steps of what you want to do to that new lead. Now, as regards marketing activities itself, so GoldMine has always had a Word and Excel link, so you can create letters in more of a traditional format if you want to. And we can also print out address labels as well. We support the Avery label format primarily, and all the normal UK, European address label formats are built in an Avery label format in the report writer in GoldMine. But increasingly more popular, of course, is email marketing. And with GoldMine, with later releases of GoldMine, we've got 3 email marketing platforms or options that we support. So there's one called Intellicus, which is an email marketing solution that's been built especially for GoldMine, very, very closely integrated with GoldMine. But we also support other systems such as Constant Contact and also MailChimp. Wizard Systems, we're also a training center for all 3. So whatever the solution that you choose, we can assist you on implementing that solution, showing you how to create nice looking email templates, going through the delivery options of those emails, and also what you see back in GoldMine with the integration with GoldMine, whether it be Intellicus, Constant Contact or MailChimp. What can you see back in GoldMine as regards what emails were sent, what emails were opened, who clicked on what, observing hard bounce and opt-out information. As part of a marketing activity, you can easily also create call campaigns. There's a feature of GoldMine called group scheduling. So you could create very easily a group of contacts that have something in common and then schedule a phone call. And most of you, I'm sure, will be aware of using GoldMine to track your activities and calls. But in one process, in one easy process, you could schedule a call to multiple contacts in your system across one or many users. You can do a little sort of round robin. So for example, if you had a marketing exercise where you had to, let's say, contact 400 people, and you've got 4 people, 4 representatives that you want to phone those contacts, each person could get 100 extra phone calls in their daily activity list to call those contacts. A nice little round robin capability there. And of course that can all be bundled in and complemented to your email marketing activity. So there's nothing stopping you having some kind of marketing process whereby step 1 you might be emailing the contact, but step number 2, stage number 2, maybe a few days later, you're phoning up those contacts and following up any potential interest there. Now another part of GoldMine that's very powerful and used for marketing activities is automated processes. This is where we can set up a sequence of automatic events that will happen to a contact or a lead automatically. So without any intervention, 24 hours a day, GoldMine could be monitoring itself, looking for things to do. Maybe new inquiries that haven't been followed up. Phone calls after a show visit, an exhibition visit. Quotes that need to be followed up, long-term prospects that need to be followed up. You may have in your mind things that you want to happen automatically to leads in your system. So automated processes whereby you're defining a rule set of these events, these activities that will happen automatically. You put this rule, this process into GoldMine, and then forget about it. Safe in the knowledge that GoldMine every day is going to do something. It's going to be monitoring and looking for things to do. It's a great way of getting extra productivity out of your GoldMine system and also preventing leads or prospects falling through the net there. A great powerful part of GoldMine. And lastly, reporting and dashboards, trying to make sense of all of this activity. So how many leads are you getting? What's happened to them? What sales are you getting from those leads? How many leads do you get from a specific show? How much did it cost you going to that show? What's the ROI on that particular show or that particular activity type? So now I'd like to take you through a demo GoldMine system, just to do a whistle-stop tour now over some of those features that I mentioned. So nothing in depth here. This is just a basic overview of some of those key capabilities. So first of all, we're going to go through data management. How do you profile and categorize your contacts? So here's an example GoldMine system here, and we're looking at a contact record. And of course, you may already have ways of profiling that contact. For example, what's the relationship of this company to you? Is it a lead? Is it a prospect? Is it an active customer or a lapsed customer? What's their main product interest? What market sector are they in? And with data validation, we want to make sure that when our users, our colleagues are entering information or changing information, we're all using it in a consistent way. So constantly keep an eye on your pick list here to all of these fields to make sure data is being put into the system in a clear and consistent format. We also support in GoldMine mandatory fields. So you might see here this source field has got a faint, hopefully you can see it, a faint little red border. This is a mandatory field. So when we enter in a new lead, we want to make sure we get the lead source, a vital bit of information about where that lead came from. And again, there might be a drop-down list there of different sources of those different leads. Now, links to social networks. We're often asked how can GoldMine link to social networks? So with later versions, we do interface with Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And on the GM Plus View tab, this is a very customizable part of GoldMine, a bit like a web page within GoldMine. This is where we can see live information coming from various social networks about this contact. So here's an example of a Twitter feed we might be following relating to this contact, but from a little drop-down list up here, we can define and look at others as well. Direct mail. So GoldMine has a link to Word. So from our document management center, we can actually build up Word and email templates. And then as we search and look at our contact database, let's say, for example, I wanted to do a mailing to all of my customers, I could double click on this customer field here. Instantly I bring up the contact search center where I'm looking at all of my customers. I can add on more search criteria here. But one way of now easily sending out some kind of communication to all of these people is from this merge button, slap bang in the middle there. We can now merge to one of my Word document templates that I've already set up. This email merge option here is the built-in email merge option in GoldMine. Not often used if you are using an email platform like Intellicus, Constant Contact, or MailChimp. This is the built-in, it's been there a long time, a way of merging an email template. So you can create nice looking HTML email templates in GoldMine and merging that to your chosen contacts there. But you're not, in this particular example, you're not going to get any record or responses back in GoldMine as regards did this person open that email, did they click on a link, for example. You do need Intellicus or Constant Contact or MailChimp for those operations. Also from here, we could schedule a follow-up phone call to schedule a follow-up phone call across all of these contacts, and we can then schedule that to, actually let me just do one more thing, let me just tag these people and then schedule a phone call to these tagged people. We can then schedule this to that group of contacts and also stagger. Do you see down here where it says 25? This is where we're staggering the number of calls given to each user per day. It's a nice sort of round robin capability there. Automated process is another powerful part of GoldMine. So from my tools menu, I have automated processes, manage process. This is where I can see all of the processes on the go right now. And just think of these as a set of instructions, one happening after the other, that every day or every hour, GoldMine can be scanning itself, looking for things to do. So here, for example, is an automated process for tracking new prospects. And as we go through, this is just like a program, a set of instructions that GoldMine is given to do certain things to that contact, to print out letters, to schedule phone calls, to send out a particular email based on particular triggers or a particular lapsed period of time. And we can give you training on this particular aspect. It's relatively straightforward. You've got to think about, first of all, what is the process? Think first of all about the particular sequence of steps or actions that you want to happen automatically, making sure that they're relevant to GoldMine, and then building up your process and doing a little bit of testing. But we can actually take you through, we do a lot of different training courses around this powerful automated process feature. Database management. We were talking earlier about database management and managing data, keeping it clean. So under my tools menu here and data management, these are lots of options that the systems administrator will have access to. For example, maybe deleting records. Maybe you do have some old records that need to be purged, or moving them to another database. Global replace allows you to go over a number of different contact records and replace one value in a field with another value to do some clever manipulation of field data of existing records in GoldMine. And if you are suffering from duplicate records, here's a way of merging duplicate records based on your comparison criteria. Maybe you want to do a match on contact name and postcode, or last name and phone number. You can build up different comparison criteria there to merge duplicate records together, so you don't lose any information. You end up with one record combining all the information of the other purged records. So nice, powerful built-in dedupe facility there. And web imports. How do you get data into GoldMine? So from my web menu here, I've got my setup web import feature. Here's one I created earlier, a web import profile, which basically is a simple wizard that would take me through how do I bring in all of this data into GoldMine. So here's a very simple web import and script generator. There's a script that goes on your website. GoldMine will create that script for you to automate when someone hits that submit button on your website. That little bit of data is automatically sent to GoldMine. GoldMine imports it. It will actually also do a little bit of dedupe for you to make sure that the record doesn't exist already. And then it could apply an automated process on top of this newly created record. So maybe based on the location of this inquiry or their product interest, it goes to a particular salesperson for follow-up. That could all be done automatically via a web import combined with a very simple GoldMine automated process. So a quick run through there of the key areas that GoldMine could assist you in using it as a marketing tool. How do we manage our data? Keeping it clean, keeping it consistent, easily getting data into our GoldMine system and working on that data, and how do we profile and categorize our data? Lead management, how do you manage your leads going through the sales processes there? And then in a proactive way, generating communications to our contacts via direct mail, the word link for example, or creating address labels. Email marketing with the 3 different key email options that we've got, and doing call campaigns in GoldMine as well. Let's not forget using GoldMine as a powerful telesale, telemarketing tool to generate call campaigns. And then automated processes. Think about common things, regular things that you're doing in sales, in marketing, and perhaps they could be automated. They could be transferred into a GoldMine automated process. There's one less thing for you to do, and the GoldMine system is doing that automatically. And then finally, using reporting and dashboards in GoldMine to monitor what's happening with all of these, in this example, all of these leads and how many sales you're getting from leads. So this is a built-in dashboard that you get with GoldMine, where we can analyze leads by account manager, by owner, by lead source, new leads without activities. So a nice flashy dashboard there. All versions of GoldMine though have had a leads analysis feature. You get to this via your go-to menu here. Go to, then analysis, and then down to leads analysis. And basically, so this has been in GoldMine a long time. So basically what's happening here is that we're looking at all of our different lead sources over a period of time, and we're analyzing how many leads did we get from that lead source, this show for example. How many have we closed? So we might have scheduled a sale. We can of course track sales in GoldMine, and if we completed a sale against that contact, then that's triggering this little value here. We've closed that sale. And then as we are completing those sales, as we're scheduling sales, we can see the potential, the future potential of sales from that lead source. If I double click on this lead source here, I zoom in, I can zoom into this lead source and get a little bit more information here. So here we have confirmed total leads 316, closed leads 3. There's our close ratio. Also in GoldMine, because we're using it hopefully for recording phone calls that we've made to a contact or visits that we've made to a contact, we can actually get some indication here that we've actually contacted all these people back, and well, we've actually forgotten to contact just over 9% of those leads. And then the life cycle of a lead as well. You can also build in the cost of a lead, and that will then actually build up the cost and profit per lead. Again, something quite useful if some of your marketing activities cost you money. If you're going to a show or an exhibition that could cost you maybe many thousands of pounds, it's very useful to know what's the ROI on the leads that you got from that show. GoldMine could give you some assistance there. Well, hopefully that's been of help for you. Maybe you've picked up a few things there that you didn't know before. As I say, this was a fairly quick overview of the features in GoldMine to assist you with marketing. And I'd like to open out our session as we normally do to any questions that you've got, primarily around our topic this morning, marketing, but I'm more than happy in answering any other question you've got, remarketing or any other aspect of GoldMine. So first question from Mel, what is the campaign center in GoldMine? The campaign center is, let me get to it, go to campaigns, GoldMine campaigns. The campaign center is more of a, shall I say, more of a cosmetic thing. It's not often used. It's a way of bringing together a very simple campaign, which might be importing contacts from a database, then merging them, doing something to them, sending out an email, for example, and then scheduling up with maybe a follow-up phone call. A bit like a very simple automated process. In my experience, not often used. You might want to give it a try, but the way of merging to contacts, sending out emails, group scheduling of calls are done easily elsewhere. So that's the campaign center tool there. Let me just pop back to my panel here. Okay, hopefully Mel, that answers your question. Next question from Craig. How easy is it to import leads from Excel? There's basically 2 or 3 options from Excel. There is a built-in Excel import in GoldMine, or you could also save your Excel spreadsheet as a different format, a CSV or DBase format, and import that easily into GoldMine. Of course, you want to make sure that what you're importing you can map to a field in GoldMine, so you can create custom fields in GoldMine beforehand to make sure that you've got a home for that data to go to. Next question from Samantha. Can MailChimp link with GoldMine? I think Intellicus is old or difficult to use. Well, yes, there is a MailChimp link with GoldMine. We do offer Intellicus training, Samantha. With Intellicus is built into GoldMine, so there's no need to do any exporting or importing, and importantly, all of the tracked data is reported back in GoldMine, so there are some very serious benefits for considering Intellicus. If, however, you want to use an alternate system like MailChimp or Constant Contact, yes, we can assist you there, and I can send you information on MailChimp after the call. Next question from Kerry. I'm wondering if you could take me through the best way to log a completed call for a company and then schedule a follow call in 1 month's time, for example. Well, that can be done manually in GoldMine, or it could be done as an automated process. So you have a contact here, you're completing some kind of call that you've done with them, whatever the call might be. So you've got a call reference, and then you schedule a follow-up call here. In the bottom left-hand corner, you just tick that box. This then is the follow-up call. And you want to schedule a call in a month's time. Job done. So the previous call has gone into history, and we've got the outstanding call on pending. Very, very straightforward, Kerry. And also automated processes could also automatically schedule future follow-up calls. Next question from Robin. Can you tweet from GoldMine? Yes, you can. There is an add-on to GoldMine called Gold Tweets, which I can send you some information on, which allows you to tweet directly from GoldMine, and also track retweets and mentions as well. Quite a nice little tool if you're wanting to show up your tweets within GoldMine. Next question from Sam: how do you set the cost of a lead source for analysis? In that leads analysis, Sam, you just right-click over the lead source and you go to Edit Source. Next question from Samantha: where is the Intellicus feature? Well, Intellicus will, the way it features is visible back in GoldMine. So you actually have, if I go to a contact record here, imagine that using Intellicus you've generated an email campaign to your contacts automatically without doing any importing or exporting, literally within a few seconds of our customers receiving an email and opening up an email and clicking a link with an email. You will see visible back in GoldMine the journey of that contact. So you actually see what campaign they were sent, what did they open. Also, you'll be able to see what websites they visited as well. And we could also automatically alert a salesperson to call a customer based on certain key events. So for example, if this customer visited our website, we could automatically get Keith, salesperson Keith, to call that client. So that's really how that information, Samantha, manifests itself back in the GoldMine system. Next question from Antoinette: how do I set up the GM Plus View tab feature? That's all done from the web menu, and you set up the GM Plus View tab here. There are a number of social network. There's about 15, Antoinette, there's about 15 sample GM Plus View screens that you get as in later releases of GoldMine, that you can then import those that we give. You can import them into GoldMine. But basically all of these GM Plus views are basically web pages. So to do anything fancy with them, you might need to know a little bit about HTML, but it's possible to do some very clever things with that GM Plus View screen. You could, for example, view Sage information. So you might want to see right now, what does this customer owe you? What invoices have gone out to that client? What sorts of sales have you been making to that customer? Very useful information to give to your GoldMine users in a read-only format. So a lot of powerful things can be done with that GM Plus View screen. Next question from Kerry: if someone opts out of marketing mails, where would you put this information to exclude them from further campaigns? Well, this is done at 2 levels, Kerry. If you're using the Intellicus system, then at an email address level, every contact could have, of course, multiple email addresses. So the Intellicus system will automatically unsubscribe this particular email address, but we could still email in future campaigns to the other email addresses relating to this contact if they're not unsubscribed. Also, the different emailing platforms, if somebody unsubscribes, it will be flagged on those systems as well. So if for example, you are using Constant Contact or MailChimp, even if you've selected this contact for a future mailing and you've submitted this email address to one of those other systems, those systems, believe me, they will prevent that mail going out to those contacts. So you don't need to have any concerns there, but certainly with Intellicus, that's because it's been written for GoldMine, that's recorded back in the GoldMine database automatically for you to prevent you inadvertently mailing to those contacts. Next question from Sam: is there integration with .mailer with GoldMine? No, Sam, there isn't. So you'd have to there basically export your contacts to .mailer, and we could discuss with you some way of importing the results back into GoldMine, but maybe this GM Plus View tab here, we could potentially discuss some kind of creation of a GM Plus View tab there to see the results of mailings to this contact. or possibly with the dashboard feature. Where is it? Over here. Dashboards is another very customizable part of GoldMine. This is where we can actually display data from other applications. So potentially .mailer mailing information could be displayed here as regards responses to that campaign, and also seeing maybe some sort of a grid type view of the contacts that might have responded to an email, opened an email, clicked on an email, or clicked on a particular link in email. That could be visible there back in your GoldMine application. So nothing as standard, Sam, but something could be created for you. Right, I don't think there's any more questions coming through there. Oh, just a last question from Antoinette. What version gives access to GM Plus View? Pretty much all recent releases beyond later releases of 6. It will be in your GoldMine system, I'm pretty sure, Antoinette. So version 7, 8, 9 going forwards, they've all got the GM Plus View tab. Okay, let me just give you, while I've got you on the call, an update to any latest GoldMine product news that we got for you. We have had the latest hotfix of GoldMine 2016.1 released last week. Please go to our GoldMine blog for more information on that. We are running on the 27th of July, which I think is a Wednesday, a Marketing for GoldMine course. This will be a one-day course at Wizard Systems near Bristol, and we will focus in a lot more detail on using GoldMine as a marketing tool. We'll go through more advanced filters and groups and SQL queries. How do you set up the web import feature? We'll go through the email marketing options. How do you import data as well into GoldMine? And also reporting and dashboards as well. The cost of that course, if you have an existing support service with a support contract with GoldMine, is £225 per delegate. If you don't have a support contract currently with Wizard Systems, it's £250 per delegate. So it's a full day course. Kerry, it will start at 10 a.m. in the morning and go through till about 4:30 in the afternoon at our North Bristol location. I'll send you more information after the call. As I normally request, if you've got any good suggestions for future topics for this for our GoldMine 101 sessions, which we normally hold every week. Incidentally, there won't be one next week, but the next one will be in 2 weeks' time. Please email me any suggestions to tim@wizard-systems.com. My name again is Tim Wilmot. But thanks very much for your time this morning and your attendance. Hopefully that's been of use to you. If you want any more information on GoldMine or our marketing course on GoldMine, please contact me. But thanks very much for your time. Bye-bye.